Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, spiritual global entrepreneurs. Welcome to the EGU podcast, Abundance Frequencies. You're with Michelle Reinhardt. Let's get cracking. Today's show is like nothing we've done before. This guest is like no one I've ever met before. The topic is Hack Your Happiness for Unlimited Abundance, and you're about to witness science and happiness connect. So don't go anywhere, folks. Grab a pen and paper, turn off your zings and pings for 30 to 40 minutes, and turn your undivided attention inward. Drop into your heart and listen deeply. Get set for a game, some fun, and a whole lot of new ideas. My guest today is Becky Howell. Hello and welcome to the show, Becky.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's lovely. Nice to see you. It's been a while in the making, this one.
A little bit, yeah. I was trying to soldier through with that cold and it just would not have worked.
Oh, that's okay. It happens to the best of us. Let me tell you a little bit about this gorgeous lady. Becky's zone of genius is at the crossroads between science and woo-woo. She uses happiness as the language of fulfillment. She helps her clients by coaching them into a sustainable and healthy mind, body, soul, emotions practice. With programs and retreats, her newest venture is a new book, a workbook, and a do-it-yourself program on how to bring more happiness into your life. So I suggest we not waste another moment with these folks' precious time. Becky, how about we jump straight into it?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, let's start. Would you mind telling us what you do and how you got into it?
Sure. So I am an author, therapist, coach, and I just learned a new term the other day. It's called multipreneur. So I am now officially a multipreneur in the health and wellness field. I got into it not on purpose, and looking back, you always wish that you had known where you're going to end up, so that you didn't do so many circles.
How nice would that be? I agree.
So originally I was going into academia, which is why I've got a high science background. And then I got fibromyalgia, which knocked me out of my just finishing up my master's thesis. And my dad had cancer at the time, so we kind of helped each other come through that. And then at the end of it, I realized, well, I still needed to be able to do something and make a living. And it was a full circle, Michelle. It was crazy because when I was a kid, I was really into alternative health, and I had a little herb garden and I would make medicines and cordials. I mean, I was this weird kid in the back of nowhere. And so we were both just kind of helping each other through recovery, and it just dawned on me that that was what I was supposed to do. It's the health and wellness field alternatively.
Wow. And look, is it so true when people are trying to find their purpose and passion in life, that the best thing to do is to go back to the things that you lost time doing the most of when you were a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's so true. And and these swings and roundabouts that we have to go to think and conform to be, in the real world and stuff. Whereas we really need to just pave our own path, just like you've done, hey?
I would love to say it was on purpose and I was, that omnipotent that I knew that was how it was going to work, but not so much.
Well, at least you got a fantastic education along the way.
Yes, I did.
That's wonderful. So we're talking about happiness. And I'm going to miss that bit for a sec. I want to go back to your message and how it can transform people's happiness to receive abundantly. There are people doing it tough.
Mm-hmm.
What has happiness got to do with that?
Well, okay, so manifestation is kind of a higher level energy medicine technique, or an alternative energy technique. And the problem is, and this is what drives me crazy, this is my science background coming out, when people will grasp these little pieces that they don't really understand and then try to use them, and then they get frustrated because they don't work, because they don't have the background for that information. So if your vibration is not high, if you are not coming from a really good place, where you're really happy, if you're not sitting there with a smile on your face, then how in the world is your vibration high enough to bring in what you're asking for? So then people just get more and more discouraged because they're trying to do this manifestation thing and it's not working. And then they get lower and lower and lower vibration. It becomes counterproductive.
Well, you know what? They are manifesting perfectly because they're getting more of where they're at.
Sure, but I'm assuming that they would want more positives.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, and we're going to play a little game about that in a little bit to help people do that. And I'm excited about this. 2 games. And folks, you guys know as much right now as I do. So I'm pretty excited about this. So, oh, wow. Okay. So shall we start? Where will we go, Becky? How can we help people jump into this straight away and get the most out of the time we have with you?
So most people aren't happy, and they're so not happy they can't even admit that they're not happy. And then it's crazy. I was doing this poll the other day, and so most people don't even want to claim being happy because that they think that means that they're frivolous or surface oriented or selfish. Yeah, they feel guilty about trying to be happy. I mean, it is mind-blowing.
Wow.
When the most basic emotion that we should have is being happy.
Yeah, it's right up there on the top of the chart, isn't it?
Yeah. Happiness and fulfillment, right?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do, and it's kind of a game, and we're just going to kind of weave these things through, is let's play the what if game.
Okay.
So when people are having an issue being happy, you start playing these games. This what if game is a great place to start. So you're not happy, you're down in the dumps, you're mopey. What if you could be happy? What would happen? Can you like visualize it? What if? Just give it some airtime. You can be mopey and sad and depressed and angry later. But right now we're playing the what if game. What if you could be happy? What would that feel like?
I like that because that instantly transports you from that lower vibrational energy to a place of possibility and opportunity.
So you can use the what if game for anything. I mean, anything. What if my book is a bestseller? And then you go through it. Well, what if? Well, that would be freaking amazing. And I would be ecstatic and over the moon, and I would help so many people. And do you see how that creates a leavening, how that increases your vibration and you get excited?
I do. And we can find our purpose and passions and all those sorts of things in life if we're feeling a bit lost.
Mm-hmm. And by having it as a game and allowing yourself to come back to this basal level later if you need to, gives you the confidence to let it go. So I'm not saying stop feeling bad. I'm just saying let's do this what if, and you can come back to this state later if you need to. But right now, let's do this.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Because it's tough when people are really low and really down and out and dealing with illness or lack of mindfulness, all those sorts of things. It's hard to pull yourself up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so some of the clients that I work with are really struggling. So it is hard for them to raise that vibration up. And it's always about the next step. Don't think that you're going to go from here to being a Tony Robbins level coach. Okay. Because you can't visualize it. So what's your next step? It's always, what's your next step?
What's so special about being happy, Becky? Psychologically, physiologically, what's the
Okay. So you ready for science?
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah.
So let me walk you through this because I'm a big nerd with this stuff. So are you at the point where you think or believe or can at least acknowledge that we're mostly made up of energy?
Well, I certainly am, and have been ever since I was a little girl. I always knew that there was something more, that there had to be more. For quite a long time, I didn't know what that was, but I could feel it, and I could see things around me. I could,
Awesome.
you can see the heat coming off a hot road. That's energy.
That's awesome. That is a very good assessment. So if we're made up of cells, and on the outsides of our cells is electrons, so each cell has a charge. It's made up basically of energy. So whenever we have a thought, that is actually an electron transference along neurons. Okay, so that's energy. Our thoughts are energy, right?
Yeah.
So our emotions is spirit attached to energy.
Okay.
So if we have high vibration, if we are happy, that is the highest vibration that we can have. Now, different people might use different words. Like sometimes, to me, the highest vibration expression would be joyful rather than happy. But that's my word, and that's what I mean when I feel that way. Other people might be ecstatic or, whatever. But you need to have in your own vocabulary, what is the word that means when you feel the best?
Yeah, and there's blissful, there's joyous, there's over the moon,
Sure.
over the world, there's lots. So it is important for people to attach that word that they use.
Absolutely. And so part of this happiness coaching is most people don't even have a touch with being happy. So people need to know, give yourself 3 levels of happiness and name them. What is contentment? What does that mean for you? What does it feel like? What is good? I feel good. I'm excited. I'm engaged. I'm pretty okay with the world. What does that mean? What is that word for them? And then you want this pinnacle of amazing, awesome sauce. And you need to know what that means for you. And you need to know what that feels like to you. And most people don't. Isn't that crazy?
Well, we're as you said earlier, Becky, we're really accustomed to dulling things down and just doing the day to day. And our world is starting to wake up that there is so much more than that, and it's not selfish to want that. It's actually, and there is, every single one of us on the planet today can have that. There is enough for everybody.
Right. And so a lot of people will actually, even if they are happy, they'll tone it down because they won't want to make someone else feel bad that they are so happy. And it's just, wouldn't seeing somebody's smiling face be nice?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think there needs to be a drastic change in how we view happiness and how we share that energy.
So how do we be happy when others around us aren't?
So do you think that so if we're happy, does that negatively impact anyone else?
No, I have known a few occasions where, there's, and it's usually family, I might say, that, family aside, no. But there are those out there ready to tear people down that are happy.
Absolutely.
The tall poppy syndrome sort of stuff. And when you're a little fragile in your own spirit and your soul, that can be really hurtful and pull you back into your shell, no matter how hard you're trying to break out of that. So the object would be to help people without them knowingly bring them up rather than us go down.
Well, you could think of it as more of a divide. You're not responsible for anyone else's energy state. And that is a really hard truth for people to get to. It was for me, absolutely. I thought I was responsible for everybody. And you're not. I promise you. If you can't believe it yourself, you can listen to Michelle, you can listen to me. And we're promising that you're not responsible for anybody else but yourself. So you can aid someone and see if you can tell them a joke, if you can smile at them, if you can lift them, and you're offering help. And if they choose not to take it, that's their choice, and you need to let that go.
And you can engage them in the what if game.
I know, the what if game. And then if people are actually having a hard time with the what if game because they keep getting stuck in like, oh, I just don't feel good, you know.
It's all right for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can actually
that time changed. We're even finding it hard to go there.
So then you would play the why game, and I'm a big why proponent. I'm a logician.
Ah, okay.
So if you can't get happy, you'd start asking yourself why. Why am I not happy? And you just keep asking. This is the why game. Well, why am I not happy? Well, because I don't feel good. Well, why don't you feel good? Because something bad happened at work. Well, why is that affecting you? I guess it doesn't really have to. Okay. But you keep asking your why, and you don't let yourself escape until you got to the bottom of it, and then you can release it. Then you go back to your what if game.
Okay, so then you can release it. Is there a trick to this, or is it as simple as just saying that's rubbish, or
depending on where people are in their practice, there's a lot of techniques to go through releasing, but I'm not sure we have time to go through all of those. You can do a simple meditation, a simple breath. So deep breath in, and then when you know the bottom of your why, breathe out and let it go. And so this works with bare beginners on meditation, and this works for more advanced practitioners as well. And
I personally use I surrender it. I give it up. Yeah, I give it. In fact, I give it to the Holy Spirit. That's right. Yeah, that's what I do. And I just, that's not mine to hold. It's not true.
So mine is, I usually do running water and cup it into my hands and let it spill out 3 times as whatever is not mine, I release. Whatever is not mine, I release. Whatever is not mine, I release.
Perfect. And to get to here, of course, we have to have a fairly decent level of awareness.
Yes. So in my work, I'm always coming up with diagrams and paradigms and all this stuff. So we have to become aware that we have a problem first, right? Then we have to accept that we have a problem. Then we need to forgive ourselves for having this problem. And then we reach a point of understanding, that's the part that allows us to move on.
Yeah. I like that. We just gave people a beautiful 4-step process just to help their mind come through this, because it's, if people choose to play the game in their mind, everything releases almost effortlessly, because it's got to be fun or we won't continue doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's, goodness, people don't get to play, right? So we're always so focus driven, so task driven. I need to do the laundry. I need to do the dishes. I need to put the kids to bed. I need to get ready for work tomorrow. I need to go to work. I need. And there's this flatness. There's no happiness there unless you are able to become aware of this and bring in light and levity. And I was the world's worst player for a really long time. There is no play in grad school. There's no play in the Navy. And it was just serious, just locked down. And that is not what we're here for.
So it was the woo-woo that brought the fun into your life, not the science.
Absolutely.
Becky, can I ask, for anyone that's there that's sort of really got bells and whistles going off in their mind, and if you are there, awesome, congratulations, because you're about to change your life, because it is fun. What was that moment like for you?
When I started playing?
Yeah. Where were you at?
Well, it was, I have so many epiphanies when I'm either running or when I'm with my horses. And so I was watching one of my horses just play in the arena. And she wasn't trying to accomplish anything. And she was actually older and didn't really feel that well, but she was still playing and looked like she was enjoying herself. And it was like a ton of bricks hit me on the head. It's like, you dummy. You're living your life and you're going to die one day, whether or not you're happy or sad or depressed. Do you think you were put on this world to be depressed and a sad sack? No.
No, no.
And if a horse that's 30 years old with bad knees and arthritis and no teeth can play and enjoy herself, then what excuse do I have?
Yeah, that's yeah, wow. So that was one big one.
Yeah, they're usually big, and I'm like reeling, thinking, you dummy.
Absolutely.
But my epiphanies are pretty strong.
That, yeah, and I've had some huge ones too. In fact, I've been hit over the back of the head so many times because I refuse to pay attention, and they just get worse and worse and harder and harder.
Yeah,
But
they do.
yeah, there comes a time when you just got to think, you know what, it actually should be easy, it should be fun, it should be joyous, it should feel light. And if it's not those things, then it's not right.
Right. I mean, not everything has to be hard. It doesn't. And not everything has to contribute to the gross national product, right? You can't just have fun to have fun with no tangible result at the end. You're allowed to do that. And, my family was very dour and Baptist. So our fun was going to pick blackberries so that we could eat in the winter, or knitting a scarf so you didn't freeze or took us off over winter. That was supposed to be fun. And it was just a really long time for me to understand that you could just enjoy it. And that was enough.
So do you have a toolkit of fun things for clients to suggest that they start doing to raise this vibration in themselves, to start looking more for fun than drudgery?
Yes. So the what if game actually really helps because, oh my goodness, some people don't even know what they would enjoy.
No, that's why I asked the question. Because,
wow.
Yeah.
So a good start is to actually go back through your childhood and just kind of see, what did you enjoy doing as a kid before all this just crushed you? When you look at your Kindle, what kind of books are you reading? When sometimes you don't know. I mean, if your parents are still alive, you could ask them, hey, did I like playing with dolls? Did I like blocks? I mean, do you remember anything that I really enjoyed as a child? Sometimes that's helpful.
Yeah.
If you like kids, not my favorite, I like dogs better, but anyway, you could borrow a child.
Send them to me, I love them.
You can borrow a child and see what sparks your fancy. Do you enjoy breaking leaves together? Do you want to go to a park? Is it a nature walk? You just have to open yourself up to the possibility and give yourself that what if, give yourself that time.
Yeah, that time to find that space. And in many cases, it's that time to find you again.
Mm-hmm. And because I'm this way, if you need a reason to have fun in your life, there's actually a really good link with depression and Alzheimer's.
Wow, is that right?
So whenever I'm being ridiculous and I think I don't have time to play, I can at least tell myself, Becky, you need to prevent Alzheimer's. Go play.
Fantastic. Wow. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, personally, I love to play, and I go and grab the kids and just throw the ball around or whatever. And I'm the first to jump out of the closet and scare them. Biggest kid in the house. But not everyone's like that. And I haven't always been like that. Believe me, there's been some pretty dark times to get to this space as well. But yeah, it is. I love the what if, and I love the why. And if you can try and brighten people up, their energy lifts you as well, doesn't it?
Right. Actually, that's a really good point. In my happiness book, which is actually the title, we talk about Brian King wrote a book called The Laughing Cure. And so he did some really good research, and I referenced him a bit, that when we see someone else laugh and smile, we can't help but do the same. It's called a mirroring.
Yes.
So have you ever seen that Facebook video where the guy is just laughing, just belly laugh in the middle of a store or a bus, I can't remember, and just laughing, or reading a book and he's just laughing, and everybody around him just starts laughing, even though they can't see the book, but just hearing somebody laugh that joyously, it's contagious.
There's a YouTube clip as well with two German guys, and I'll put the link in the show notes.
That's
and
awesome.
you can find that one too, Becky. I'll apply that one as well that you're talking about. But it's two German guys having a beer, and the beer is infused with helium. So they have a drink, and then they go to speak, and there's this high-pitched spiel, and the other one's just pointing, and they're laughing. And you can't understand a word they're saying, but it is absolutely hilarious. So that'll be in the show notes, guys and girls, because we're going to give you a few things to help you laugh about. I've got some videos of my children when they were little babies, just laughing and laughing and laughing and giggling and cackling, and I've got that on my phone. So if ever I need to, I just listen to that, and it's gorgeous, because my heart swells with love and gratitude and joy, and automatically I'm up in that space. Yes.
With me, I have a picture of my dog smiling.
Ah!
Yeah. I'm not a big kid person. I got to go where I go.
That's exactly right. You've got to find your happy somewhere, don't you? So can we touch on, and I know we're going to run out of time, and I always knew this was going to happen, but I really want to help people be abundant and prosperous and joyful and happy. And I would love to be able to give them a magic potion or a formula as to how to manifest that. Knowing now that energy and, it all adds towards manifestation. Can you, tell us your thoughts on that and how we can help people?
So once you have gone through the what if game and the why game if necessary, now when your vibration is higher and you are happy, now is the time to start manifesting.
Okay.
So when you are manifesting, you want to keep yourself happy, right? So actually, okay, great. So I just looked at a horse just before we got on a call, and I would like to purchase her. She's perfect. She's my dream horse, everything I've always wanted, right? So instead of me trying to manifest the funds for her, while I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. It's so expensive. That's not going to get me anywhere.
No.
So I go into the what if. What if I do get her? Well, that's fantastic. She's beautiful. She can be the basis of everything. I want to do endurance riding. We would be a blah, blah, blah. Happy, excitement.
I can see it in your face. Your whole body has just exploded into joy.
So from that point, I say she is already mine. I am hacking my happiness to get what I want.
Beautiful.
And the same thing happens with relationships. Starting a new one, buying a house, fixing your love life. Nothing is solved by being depressed as far as happiness and manifestation.
Yeah.
I mean, easier said than done, of course, but that's why you've got these games to play with.
The what if and the why. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and look, how many years have you taken to knock it down to something this simple? Because it is. It's simple.
That's what I do. So when I wrote the happiness book, I went through probably 1,000 pages of text, all the way back to Buddha, about happiness and life purpose and everything. And so I boiled it down to give people the short version, because people don't have time to read 1,000 pages of text and try and understand how that applies to them.
And they switch off.
Yeah.
People's brains switch off, and then, I mean, yeah, they go back into the old familiar, which is not given them the results they want. So, but they're programmed to go that way, back into the past looking for solutions, and they're not there. They don't lie in the past.
Solutions do not lie in the past. Sometimes understanding comes from the past.
Yes.
So my thing is, when I'm teaching, if I have to take that 1,000 pages and say, here it is, then I haven't really understood what I'm trying to learn. But if I can take that and condense it down and say, okay, you need the why game and you need the what if game, and then you need to start manifesting. And then you probably need some of these other energy medicine techniques that we really don't have time for. Then I understand it, and then I'm helping someone.
Well, I can see a new title for a new show. Energy medicine techniques. Wow. We're going to have to come back, Becky. Would you join us again sometime?
Sure.
That would be fantastic. So, do you have a hot tip for people?
Around happiness or abundance or what?
That will help people make the maximum impact on our guests' lives.
So,
a hottest truth.
Hottest truth. How about a really raw one? So when I was married, freshly married, I thought my husband was supposed to make me happy. Or I thought this new puppy was supposed to make me happy, or this new job was supposed to make me happy. And the absolute god-awful truth is you are responsible for your own happiness. And it sounds like a cliche, and you tune people out when they tell you that, but eventually it will get through. And this is something else that Michelle and I can promise you is the truth, is you really are responsible for your own happiness. So don't wait for someone else to make you happy.
Ouch. It's true. It's absolutely true. I probably have spent a good half of my life trying to find the people that will make me happy. And there is only one. Yeah. And often it takes a bit of digging to find one.
And sometimes it can get a little ugly.
Absolutely can. It absolutely can. But it is worth the journey every step of the way.
Yep.
And yeah, it is. It's amazing. So it is. Life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us. And everything that happens, everything that's presented to us, we do create, whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So why the heck not play the what if and the why game, get into the happiness zone?
So this is my purpose, right? So I want to create sustainable, healthy, happy human beings, because that's only going to improve the world. And if we quit giving away our power, if we realize responsibility ends and begins with us and resides with us, then we're going to be better set up to create what we want.
You're absolutely right. I love it. I love it. And I love the simplicity of it. And if it is a truth, and if it doesn't hit our listeners and our viewers in the heart, then perhaps they need to dig a little deeper, because it's where it lies, and that's where it starts and it's where it ends.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Becky, how do you work with clients typically?
So I prefer the one-to-one. That's just how I work best. So I do have a few packages going on for coaching. The book's coming out at the end of February, and I did put that together. There's the book, the workbook will follow, and then there's ancillary packages and an app. Oh my God, that's been a whole thing.
Fantastic.
Coming up with that as well. So I want to meet people where they're at. That's really important. So if a higher level one-to-one package is where someone's at, then that's great. We can do that. If they're still kind of kicking it around and they're not quite in the awareness stage all the way, then the book is a great place to start.
I love that. That's great. And you can find Becky on Facebook at Becky E Howell. That's Howell, or Holistic Success Coach. In the show notes, guys, just scroll down and you'll find us. Everything will be there for you. We'd like to just share a big message with you and just invite you to really have a look at your life. And if it's not where you want it to be and it's not making you sing and making you happy and joyful, then reach out and connect. Turn
And
up
you're
the
allowed,
dial.
and you're allowed to be happy.
Oh, I think you must. You must be happy. It's yeah, life's too short to be miserable and to be grumpy, and there's too many of those people out there anyway.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, I'd love to thank you so much, Becky, for coming on the show and gracing us with your presence and your gift of simplicity. So if we can just do a little quick wrap for people. You've got a game, 2 games. What if? If the what if game doesn't work?
Then you do the why game.
Yeah, and then what do you do once you're in a happy space?
Then you manifest your abundance like crazy.
Absolutely. So we went through a quick 4 steps too to become aware.
So the quick 4 steps is having you move through your process. And that's in the freebie I gave you, I think.
Beautiful. So we have a freebie as well. Guys, are you guys lucky or what today?
So it's about realizing that you have to become aware of the problem, accept that there's a problem, or accept that you need to make a change. Forgive yourself for needing to make that change, which is the part that I usually got stuck on. And then the understanding allows you to make that change. And so understanding that 4-step process is really helpful to move through things. You know, a lot of people get stuck on the awareness and they don't go anywhere.
Yeah, and we need action.
Absolutely.
You've got to take action, and that comes back to accountability. It comes back to, you know, being responsible for your own happiness. Right. And taking those steps forward to change that. And look, I love nothing more than sitting down and watching a great movie, like a rom-com or something like that, where you have a giggle, or a comedy or something. But yeah, whatever it takes to raise your vibe to get into that space of happiness and joy.
Well, there's a reason why during the Great Depression, comedy soared. People need comedy. That's been an endemic thing to our species forever. And now all of a sudden we're not supposed to be happy or laugh. It makes no sense. No.
And boy, if anyone had a reason to not be happy and laugh, and back then they did, yeah. So with that, I'm going to bid our viewers farewell. I'm going to invite them to check out Becky at beckyhowell.com. In the show notes, you've got a freebie, so grab that. Connect with Becky if she makes you smile and be happy and you feel she can help you. If you need me, you can find me at $1milliondollarmindset.com. Jump over and join our online Facebook community at Entrepreneurs Globally Unite. 5,500 spiritual entrepreneurs in there having a ball. So come and play with us. Let us help you get your groove back and have some fun in life. So for now, Becky, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all that you're doing and for your mission and your passion and your purpose. It's admirable.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So that's it for us, folks, for this week. Don't forget to shine bright. That's why you're here. And we'll see you next week. Bye.